Now, let's see. We're going to go live on Facebook. Here she comes. Connected to broadcast. Cookie skills. Yes, 7 levels deep. 7 levels deep exercise. With Tina Ryan. Choose where to post to a group. And we're doing it with courageous influential speakers. Go live. Are you ready?
Okay.
We're preparing to live stream. This is where I get confused because it tends to go off on one before I'm ready. So I'm blurbing as you've possibly seen it before. So what I will also do is come back to, yes, I've got it, that it's being live streamed. There you are. Hello. Now I know what we're up to. Oh, this is a first for me. So I'm
so glad to be part of your first.
Yeah, I've not done a first with an interview on live. So loving the look. Very nice.
Spangles, I thought I might dress myself, seeing as I'm online until midnight tonight.
Yes. Ta-da! Well, we are recording, so let's get down to it. So it is 6 o'clock, folks, and we will do our live hone your speaker skills. Now, do you remember last week I was talking about folding up bits of paper?
Okay.
Said piece of paper. We were talking about how many times you can fold a piece of paper.
Yes.
And my camera's gone a bit blurry. Let's stop it and start again. There we go. Yep. How many times you can fold a piece of paper? You cannot fold it more than 7 times. It's impossible. And it doesn't matter whether you're talking about an A1 size of paper or a little doody one. You can't do it more than 7 times. I'm sure there'll be some physics law involved in there. And that's kind of where we're at with the 7 levels deep exercise, because the first 2 or 3 folds, well, that's easy enough. That doesn't require a great deal of effort. You can see it. You do, and that's where we're at the head level. Then it starts to get a little bit trickier and requires a little bit more effort. And that's 6, and I could not get the 7th in there. That's a wonderful physical example of what we're about to do, the 7 levels deep exercise. Now, the lovely Tina, who is joining us today, is one of our students in the Courageous Influential Speakers Academy. And she's very graciously agreed to be the guinea pig for me in my first live interview type thing. So thank you very much, Tina, for stepping in for me.
No problem.
So I'm going to ask you, what is an area that you want to explore, a question you want to explore?
I suppose a good question would be, why do I use human design in my business?
That would be a good one. Yep. So why do you use human design in your business? That's my first question.
First question. For me, it removes the very long stage of getting to know a client.
And why is getting to know your client really important?
It breaks down barriers very quickly, in that I understand them very quickly. It just cuts out a lot of the red tape in the coaching space, makes life very easy, particularly when it comes to understanding their way in which they make decisions.
And why is it important to understand how somebody makes a decision?
Because from my perspective, it's whether I expect to get an immediate answer, because for some people there is an immediate answer in the now, but for other people, they have to have percolating time. They need to sit and think in it. Sometimes they can come up with a decision in a short space of time. It can be 2 minutes, but other people need time to go away and ponder that and then come back once they've gone through all the emotional process of what that question means to them, so they can come back with an aligned answer, rather than making or giving me an answer that one they think that I want or that they think is right. I don't want them to think. I want them to feel that the decision for them is right.
Okay. So I'm curious then, why is it important for somebody to feel a decision rather than necessarily think it?
I think that's when you merge knowledge and knowing. So a lot of people will operate in this space alone when it comes to their decision-making process. So it's the pros and cons list, it's logic, it's analysis, it's reason, and they're all fabulous. But sometimes they leave you in a very predictable space. And when you add the knowing part into it, that's when we can kind of lean into the spaces that feel a little bit uncomfortable and unsure of what the outcome will be. But that's where we get the growth, and that's where we get all the fun and juicy and delicious good things coming to us, because it's not something we've experienced before, it's not something we've heard before, it's not something we've done before. It's out there in the realm of possibility, and that can make people feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay, so the comfort discomfort thing,
yeah,
why is that important for you?
For me, in terms of from a coaching space,
Yeah,
comfort only ever gets you what you've already gotten. It is still playing in that space of, you know, or you think you know how far you can stretch yourself. For example, started working at the gym today, and I know that space. I've been in that space before, but that was 10 years ago when my body was a little bit younger and could move a little bit differently. And now it's an unknown, because that inner critic comes in and goes, you're too old, you're this, you're that, all the things that leave you feeling uncomfortable. But I have an inner knowing I need to do this in order to stretch myself into my next level version. Whatever she looks like, I'm not sure what she looks like yet, but I know that this is a part of it, because my inner knowing was going, you need to sign up, and she was incessant.
okay, so stretching.
Yes.
Why is stretching important to you?
I love coming from a space of learning and knowledge, and none of us have all the answers. And so for me, learning is a stretch exercise. It's stretching what I think about certain subjects. It's learning new subjects. It's going, oh, that adds to that, adds to that, adds to that. So that for me is what human design particularly is all about. It's like an Alice in Wonderland deep dive rabbit hole. A 52-layer wedding cake is possibly a good visual explanation for people, because you can take one layer and get some really great information, and you can take that on and embody that, and then you can keep going to the next layer, to the next layer, to the next layer. So I think when it comes in terms of the learning, you're constantly stretching yourself as a human being, because we're all souls here having a human experience, but we need to stretch ourselves to fulfill our purpose in life. And if we don't stretch ourselves, we possibly not fulfilling the purpose that we're here to fulfill. This cycle around.
That brings me to my 7th question.
Yes.
What about purpose? Why is that important?
I think if we move through this life without understanding our purpose or uncovering our purpose, because the delightful way the universe works is that we're all embedded with our purpose and our knowledge and all of our understanding when we first come in. But it's as we grow, things get added on to us and we forget what our purpose is. And what I've found with human design, I know when my children were born, all I wanted was a roadmap. How do I best understand my children? Can't they come with an instruction book? I found the instruction book when they were in their mid to late teens, and it gave me this eye-opening understanding that they each have a different purpose, and so do I. They each make decisions differently, and so do I. So it's helping me to guide them on their journey as best as I can without interfering, because everybody's got to walk their own path. Mm-hmm. I can hopefully just add the guardrails, and the same as I do with my clients. The more I understand about them through their design, the simpler it is for me to coach them to their best.
Right. So what we started off we started off at why you like to use human design. Yes. And we ended up with it's around purpose.
Yes, it's understanding that, and it's a tricky space to play in, because so many people ask that question of themselves. What is my purpose and why am I here?
Yeah.
And it can be a lifelong search. I don't think you ever quite get to the bottom of the well of what is my purpose. You can only hope to,
because you were saying that there's always this growth bit. So absolutely. This particular exercise, now we've done this around something that you're using for work, and that's ideal, because you can then sort of see, well, is this right for me? I mean, you can use the 7 levels deep exercise in terms of buying a bed, buying a present for somebody,
choosing a partner.
Yes, mind you, a human design might come in handy there as well.
That does help, yes.
Now, audience, you're probably thinking, well, what's this got to do with speaking? Authenticity. Best speakers come from a place of authenticity. And I started off a group, including Tina, and I won't say which her favourite role model was, but we had 4 people in the room, and we asked, who is your favourite role model, who's your role model for speaking, and why? And we had the combination of Joe Rogan, Brené Brown, Mother Teresa, and I can't remember who the 4th one was now.
That one has now escaped me.
But those 3, I mean, can you imagine those 3 in the same room?
That would be an interesting dinner party.
Wouldn't it just? Yeah. The bit was the why. Why was that? Why were those role models important to them? And every single person said authenticity. They were all authentic to who they really are. And that is the nub of it with you as a speaker, because that authenticity, it's intangible. You can't stick a nice little bow around it.
No.
However, you know when it's not there. And if you want to be a red hot speaker and one who is credible and engaging, and the event managers want back because you do the bits and you bring yourself and you bring your message in a really powerful way, you're going to have to be authentic. Dig deep. Do the 7 levels for yourself on what your message is and why you are bringing it to the wider world. We've had a bit of fun with Tina today. We weren't going to go on to something particularly personal, because this gets very vulnerable.
It can.
You can go the first 2 or 3, it'll be head knowledge. It'll be, yeah, well, of course that and that and that and that. And then you'll get to the, I don't know. And that's exactly it. You don't know. You're having to shift from here down to here. and go into, as Tina said, your heart space. Because when you marry up this bit and this bit, where does the energy go? Through your voice. Right. So this is why, speakers, it is essential that you get your head and your heart aligned. I trust this has been a useful exercise for you. I would love to see you do this for yourself. Now, if you feel brave enough to put yourself on camera and ask yourself the same 7 questions, any topic, it doesn't have to be a vulnerable share. You can do it, as I said. Do you want that particular pair of shoes? Why?
Or curious questions to ask the people that you love.
Oh, yes, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I wouldn't suggest that you do that on camera because there's the confidentiality.
Oh, absolutely not. But it's certainly a good.
But it could be fun. The point is, have a go. Do your 7 levels deep. Get yourself particularly around the reason that you want to be a speaker and the topic that you're bringing. Get that clearly, both head and heart aligned. And let's see what a difference it makes to your authenticity and your appeal as a speaker. Thank you very much, Tina.
Thank you so much.
And thank you that we've managed to do a live together.
And on time.
Thanks very much.
See you, darling.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.